Welcome to the Classy Career Girl podcast. I'm your host, Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, one of Forbes' most influential career sites. This is a podcast for a community of women who want to turn their passions into work they love. You'll learn how to become happy, successful, and balanced with class, skill, and style. We believe that you can create your future. So stop delaying your great life. Go put yourself out there. You can have your great life and career right now. Hello, friends. It is Anna, and the podcast is back. We took about 2 months off, and often I need a break. And so thanks for your patience. I know I got messages from a couple of you guys wondering where the episodes were, and really, I just needed a break. We launch our career coach certification program 2 times a year, and we have graduation, and there's just so much work involved in April. And so for May and June, often I just need to take a deep breath. And as you'll hear today, there are a lot of changes going on in my life and for our family. And so I really just needed to get away from the podcast and creating content for a little while so that I could take care of a lot of the family things that are happening. And then I always know when I'm ready to come back because I start to get ideas. I start to journal and get stuff out, and then I get really passionate, excited about a topic and brainstorming, and all of a sudden I'm like, I need to start the podcast again. I need to get this content out. I need to help people. I need to get this into your ears on the podcast. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a series that I'm super excited about. This is our all-time most popular blog post. It's our all-time most popular Instagram post. It is the 13 time management habits of highly effective women. And I'm not going to go through all 13 today. What I've decided is that over the next, many weeks here this summer on the Classy Career Girl podcast, we're going to dive into one of these parts. And time management is something that is so near and dear to my heart right now. It's something I'm working on myself with my 3 daughters who are now home for the summer. And I'll tell you a little bit more that's happening here in a second. There's a lot of change happening, and I really am working on my own time management. So you learn by teaching. And so for me, this is a gift to be able to teach you because I learn myself. I get to share some of the things that are changing in my life, and I get to share some of the new tools and systems and routines that I'm putting into place to help me stay stress-free and organized and happy and fulfilled in work and at home as well. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about planning your day, and we are going to get started here. So let me pull this up. So one of the things that I want to give you behind the scenes, because I'm going to be talking about, I can't not talk about my personal life and the changes that are happening in this series that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to give you a personal life update. As many of you know, I'm a mom of 3 daughters. And so a lot of the time management habits that I'm going to teach you are what has helped me stay focused on my goals while also having fun running my business too. So I've been able to learn how to say goodbye to stress, although obviously stress still comes up in my life. But I'm learning and I'm growing, and I've made a lot of changes over the last 10 years so that I can have more joy in my work and in my life. And so I challenge you as we go through this series, stick with me. These are going to be shorter episodes. Stick with me through these series. Try and put, 1 to 2 of these habits in place. If you just listen to one a week, put 1 habit in place every single week. And then by the fall, as you go through all 13 of these habits, you are going to be completely changed. Your life, your career, your schedule, you're going to be organized and more productive. So that is my challenge for you. Stick with me for these 13 habits, implement 1 new thing per week. And we'll dive into the first habit today. So the first habit that we're going to talk about is that successful and highly effective women, one of their very first habits is that they plan their day the night before. So before they go to bed, they know what their top priorities are for the next day, because you don't want to be stressed in the morning. You want to be able to have a plan before you go to bed. You know what your priorities are, and this is going to greatly reduce any overwhelm. So that is what we're going to talk about today, and I can't not talk about that without telling you all of the changes personally that are happening in my life right now. So I'm recording this on June 26th, 2023, and in just a few short weeks, we are getting ready to move. So right now, over the last 2 years, we've been living in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In a few short weeks, we are going to be moving, but not just a normal move. We're going to be traveling for the next year. And so we are putting stuff, we don't have that much stuff, but what we do have, for those that don't know, we just are renting right now. So we don't have, a house or anything that's kind of holding us here in Wisconsin. So we've decided to homeschool our kids for the next year and travel around Europe. And we leave in a few short weeks. We're going to be starting in Rome, Italy in July. So we're putting, if you don't know, Classy Kruegel is called Classy Kruegel International. So when I started this way back in 2010, that is the name I chose, Classy Kruegel International. So to me, this really is a dream come true. This really is, we're going to be obviously running our business, growing our business. I get to meet with members of our membership site and my clients all around the world. I've already am back and forth with some of my clients who I get to meet around the world as well. So to me, this is putting the international in Classy Kruegel. It's definitely a dream. And we get to work and we get to homeschool our kids and learn right alongside them as we go to museums, as we learn new cultures, and as we learn new languages as well. So right now, Spanish is my language that I am diving into. And throughout the year, we will be stopping in Spain as well. So I could do a whole episode, and I will. So send me questions if you want me to do an episode on this, on everything related to this huge change in our lives. That's a side thing though, right? Like I will do that if you guys are interested. So let me know. But the biggest thing that I want to encourage you and how it relates to the right time management habits is I want to encourage you to know that you can still have the life of your dreams, the career of your dreams, even if you're really busy, even if you feel like there's so much on your plate and you have no idea how you're going to do it all, you can still go for your dreams. We are all busy, but what truly matters, you do have time for. So oftentimes, a lot of what we're going to talk about through this series, this time management series, is a lot has to do with our mindset of how we believe about our schedules and our calendars. Like, do you look at your calendar and you just get this heavy feeling because you don't like your days, you don't like what happens in your weeks, you just feel like you're completely unorganized and cluttered in your schedule and overwhelmed, and you're feeling so busy. And we have to, one of the big changes I've made just in mindset is remembering that I do have time for what matters most. I think I learned this from a book from Michael Hyatt, his book called Free to Focus. And he said this, he said, you have all the time you need for what matters most. And I tell myself that when I feel overwhelmed, I'm like, I have all the time I need for what matters most. So I don't have all the time. And that's one of the habits we're going to talk about is saying no and setting boundaries. We don't have the time to do everything. We only have the time to do what truly matters. And so that's one of the most important things when it comes to your time and where you put your energy into your priorities is knowing what your priorities are, knowing what's most important, because we can't do it all. We just can't. I'm not doing it all. Trust me. So this is why planning your day is so important. And I have been, this is why I had to take time up from the podcast. Obviously, you get it now, right? Yes, this is why I took 2 months off the podcast because I have been reading and researching, and I am a brand new homeschool mom. Now, I did kind of homeschool in first grade when we had the whole COVID virtual school, and we decided to homeschool, but we were still connected to our public school. We still had to have like weekly meetings with the teacher in that virtual setting. And what I've realized is that was really not homeschooling. That was like still being connected to the school, and we still had to check off boxes and submit things. And so this time around, my second run through homeschooling, I'm researching, I am learning, I'm growing, and I'm kind of just starting something new and learning so much about it. So it's kind of like my passion project right now. I love to teach. I love to create. I never imagined I'd be a homeschool mom. But I do, as you guys know, I love teaching, I love creating, I love helping adults. And my 9-year-old's getting there, right? So she's super fun to teach. So I'll have a fourth grader, I'll have a kindergartner, and then we'll have a little 2-year-old running around as well, which we will be trying to keep busy. So that is why I had to take the break from the podcast. But one thing I've been doing every single day over these last 2 months as I'm thinking about, homeschooling this fall, is I've created a weekly schedule. And every day I make changes to it. So I'm basically creating out like my ideal schedule, like what I want my ideal week to look like. And so that way, when the day comes the night before, I kind of have a rough template of what I want tomorrow to look like because I have that like ideal week schedule. And so for me, it's really splitting up my time between like my work time. Like I know what my work time is going to be. I know what my personal, now homeschool mom time is going to be. I know what my morning time is going to be. My nighttime block is going to be. And so having that calendar, like if I never had the calendar, I wouldn't be making improvements and updates and changes to it. And so I think it's really important and I just use like a Google Sheet, and just kind of block out the times for our fall, like what our fall is going to look like, because July is going to be a little crazy. So once we start school in August, like what it's going to look like, so we can have that consistency in our schedule. Even though we're going to be in different places, we're still going to have that same consistency, same systems, same routines every single day of the week. So what I've been doing, I highly recommend the book The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. This is a book I heard about many years ago, but I never read until this year. And I just implemented his morning routine. So I do want to tell you about his morning routine. I'll have a whole podcast here about morning routines. But when it comes to planning your day, this is one thing that has been really helpful for me, like planning my mornings. And so what he recommends is that obviously you wake up at 5 a.m., which sometimes, like this morning, I started this at 6 a.m. I want that extra hour of sleep. If my daughter, who's now 18 months old, if she can sleep till 6, I'm sleeping till 6, because normally she wakes up at 5. So normally I'm up at 5 with my 18-month-old. But so take that hour, whatever time it is. Obviously the book says 5 a.m., so he recommends 5 a.m. Take that hour and break it into 3 20-minute segments. So what the book recommends is that, the first 20 minutes is your exercise time, then your second 20 minutes is your learning time, and then your last 20 minutes is your reflection time. And so what I really like about this is it gives you that timer of 20 minutes. And so you only have 20 minutes in each of these sections to get these things done. And this has been really valuable to me because as a mom, I don't have a lot of time. And so what I used to be doing is my exercise would be like 45 minutes because I'm following this app and I'm trying to do this every day, and they're like 45-minute workouts. And what I realized is if I could just give myself the 20-minute timer, I can actually get the exercises done. I'm just move through them a lot faster. I don't do every single thing, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I'm getting it done at 20 minutes, and I'm much better about getting the exercise done. Because sometimes if I wait till like 8 o'clock, then more often than not, the exercise isn't going to happen if I don't actually get it done before my other girls have woken up. So that's been really helpful. For the learning time, what I'm doing in that 20-minute block is I'm doing my affirmations, I'm reviewing my goals, I'm reading personal development books, I'm studying Spanish because this is all about learning, right? So I'm trying to do one lesson in Duolingo during that time. I'm doing my Bible study, and then ideally I'm journaling during that time as well. I know it's fast. So this is something you learn through as you just give yourself that 20 minutes, but giving yourself that timer actually makes you go through all these things a lot faster, and then they actually get done. And I think that's the biggest point, is even if you spend 1 minute reviewing goals and affirmations, that's better than not doing it at all. So the other part is the reflection part. So those 20 minutes, I'm also journaling I'm doing my gratitude for the day, my prayer, and I'm planning out the day during that time as well. I'm looking at my vision board, and I'm doing like a like kind of like a prayer meditation. Quiet time ideally. Sometimes it's holding a baby or watching the baby, but I'm still getting it done. It's a little crazy. So that after that hour, then I can move into breakfast and my chores around the house and getting the kids set up for their breakfast and just all the craziness that starts the day. But that's how I'm planning out my mornings the night before. And if I don't plan that out the night before, then it's not actually going to get done. So, highly recommend doing that. I am going to be homeschooling in the morning, and then in the afternoons, I'm going to be working, taking coaching calls, is what I'm planning on doing right now. So, those are kind of like my blocks of time. And the reason I can do that obviously is because I have the time changes will actually work out well. So normally I can take calls. It'll be in the afternoons in Europe. So for my clients who are in the United States, I'll be able to take calls with them because of the time change in the mornings, afternoons as well too. So I'm excited to try this out. Who knows? I will give you an update to tell you how it's working. I've also been using a habit tracker so I can see the habits that I'm not getting done. So every day I have a list of things that I like really want to get done. So I kind of go through and can check off the things that I do get done or I don't get done. But the reason I wanted to tell you this is because when you do that, you can kind of see what's not getting done, and then you can schedule that into your day. So this is another big point that I want to make today. If you don't actually schedule your big goals, schedule those things, those habits that are really important to you, if you don't actually put them on your calendar, it's not going to get done. And this is the same with like your big goals. So what I teach my clients when we create our 90-day plans together, we break down the small tasks that are going to help them reach their 90-day goals, and we put them into their calendar. So that's truly important. Planning out your day, planning out your weeks, planning ahead of time so you can go into the calendar and block out those times when you're going to work on your goals. So super important, especially if you have kids too, to plan out the day. I've been doing this with the kids. We have a whiteboard in the house. So communication is key to them. So everyone knows what to expect. Everyone knows what we're going to be doing personally and throughout the day. So I always plan out my day like right after dinner. I plan out the next day. So that's when I'm doing like cleanup. I'm writing down what the next day is going to look like. And then every Sunday, I do kind of like a weekly review every Sunday night so that I have a general idea of what's going to happen during the week. So then my daily planning, like the night before, is not that hard to do. So I'm super excited. Becoming a homeschool mom is actually making me a lot more effective at my habits and my routines. It's forcing me to get better because I have a lot less time. I have no time to waste. And ultimately, you all know this, my kids are my ultimate why. And so now with a 9-year-old, like I really feel like this is the time I have with her to teach her the things that I wish I knew at that age. This is when I go back to I have all the time I need for what matters most. When we were thinking of homeschooling and doing, this adventure, it's like, if this is important to me, I have all the time I need. I love you guys all. I love all of my clients, but the girls in my house are truly what matters most to me right now. And I just feel this huge responsibility right now to teach them. And I never imagined I would be a homeschool mom, but I truly know that it is my calling right now, and I will make time for it because it is important, while also reaching my business goals too, because you guys know me, I am all about the goals. I am all about the career as well, and Classy Career Girl has some big vision and a big mission that we are currently in the midst of completing. So I love that I get to build a life outside of work, and this is something I recommend for you all as well too. When you're planning out your days, like plan for fun ahead of time. Build that life outside of work that you are so excited for. Obviously, work is important, and those baby steps count. Everything that you're doing over 13 years ago, I started a blog and called Classy Career Girl, right? And so I'm not just picking up and moving to Europe while running this business on day one of my business. I have put 13 years of daily work into this business. It's also over 10 years also of trying to have kids as well. Having kids was not easy for me. I've talked a lot about this on the podcast before. I dealt with miscarriages and IVF and embryo transfers, and it was not fun. So now that my 3 miracles are here, I can look back. I can see how every step through that process as well, every disappointment, how, we would hear better luck next time, keep trying. That has all led me to where we are today as well too. So I will never stop saying in your personal life, whether you're trying to have kids or whether you're trying to make your big goals count and dreams happen, like start a business or make a big career change or move abroad, like we are as well. Like every baby step counts. Keep doing things imperfectly. Keep believing in your vision. That's why I'm a huge proponent of that vision board. Keep posting those dreams to your vision board. Keep believing that you can do it. And then, of course, back to the topic of the day, keep planning out your day ahead of time. Trust me, this will change your life when you plan out your day ahead of time. So I am looking forward to our next episode in our time management habits series. Part 2 will be releasing soon, and it is all about setting boundaries. I also have a brand new webinar training that I want to share with you. It's completely free, but I know after hearing what I've talked about today, a lot of you are interested in going from employee to entrepreneur. So if you want to learn how to successfully transition from employee to entrepreneur and grow your business the right way, I have a training for you, and you can go access that free training at www.classycareergirl.com/CRP webinar. And I will see you next time.